Hello, everybody. My name is Tony Diaz, PAHMIS System Administrator for the Balance Estate in Pennsylvania. Today, we're going to be doing a brief training on universal data elements, ethnicity, race, and gender for the new data standards coming out October 1, 2021, and going live into our production environment. Today, we're going to be using the training environment. And we know it's the training environment because it has the mouse with the graduation cap down here. So let's go ahead and sign in. And it's going to take us to the client's workspace. And our good friend Red Rooster is here, who some of you may remember from our coordinated entry intake training. Let's go ahead and get into Red's workflow. And right here at the basic client demographics, we're going to see the three required questions: ethnicity, race, and gender. We know they're required because they all have red stars next to them. So for the first one, ethnicity, we now have the A, the O, and the X, which indicates Latina, Latino, Latinx. Other than that, nothing's changed. You still have the 5 selections: Hispanic, Latino, Latinx, non-Hispanic, Latina, Latino, Latinx, and then client doesn't know, client refused, or data not collected. So that is the only change for ethnicity. Next is race. Race is now have 5 racial categories, all of which are multi-select. And these last 3 down here: client doesn't know, client refused, data not collected, cannot be used in conjunction with any other answer. These last 3 are looked at as explanations for why data is missing. Okay, so as we know, race is to indicate a client's self-identification of one or more of the 5 different racial categories. And when you're enrolling a client who already has a record in HMIS, like Red Rooster does, then you want to verify that the information is complete and accurate and correct it if it is not. Just as a reminder, staff observations should never be used to collect information. So let's go ahead and go over the 5 racial categories that we have now. The first one is American Indian, Alaska Native, or Indigenous. That is a person having origins to any of the indigenous peoples of North, South, or Central America. And then we have Asian or Asian American. This is a person having origins of Asian descent, including but not limited to Chinese, Indian, Japanese, Korean, Pakistani, Vietnamese, or another representative nation or region. Next is Black, African, American, or African. This is a person having origins to any of the Black racial groups of Africa, including Afro-Caribbean. Next is Native, Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander. This is a person having origins in any of the indigenous peoples of Hawaii, Guam, Samoa, or another Pacific island. Next is White, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. For gender, this is also to indicate a client's self-identification of one or more of our gender categories. Again, staff observations should never be used to collect information on gender, or anything else in HMIS. It's recommended that you just explain the categories to them if they don't understand what one or more of them mean, and simply asking which of these genders best describes how you identify is appropriate and focuses on the person's own internal knowledge of their gender. So let's go over the gender fields here. First, we have female. This is clients who live or identify as female. Next is male, clients who live or identify as male. Next is a gender that is not singularly female or male. These are clients who live or identify as a gender other than female, a gender other than male, a gender outside the binary, no gender, more than one gender, a culturally specific gender, or a gender that changes over time. And then there's transgender, clients who live or identify with a transgender history, experience, or identity. Next is questioning, clients who may be unsure, may be exploring, or may not relate to or identify with a gender identity at this time. It's important to note that client doesn't know is different than questioning. Questioning is about exploring one's gender identity. Client doesn't know should only be selected when a client does not know their gender from the 5 options available. And as always, client doesn't know, client refused, data not collected cannot be used in conjunction with any other choice. However, the first 5, you can select as many of the first 5 as the client identifies with. So thank you for taking a brief minute to go through these universal data elements, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.